Пардон, даже не заметил ее. Она не переключилась. Так. Окей. Работает? Да, вроде как все должно работать. Не знаю, насколько хорошо будет работать, но все должно вроде как работать. Вот он. Не знаю, почему у Дениса так лагало, но ладно, не суть. Когда он играл, у него прям игра пролагивает. Не знаю почему. Он говорит, что у него нагрузка на комп большая была. Да. Именно поэтому. У меня нагрузка на комп вообще минимально идет. Лагать нечего особо. Так. Я не знаю, там длинный или нет, на самом деле, мне интересно, правда. Потому что было управление даже.
A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven. Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death.
Мы же за кого играем, за индейцев и за кого интересно? Нет, мы не за индейцев играем, походу.
He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him.
К сожалению, у меня не так оружие прокачано, как у него. Но я думаю, что, в принципе, от этого мне интересно не будет для меня. Ничего нет. А, я тут сдохнуть могу, серьезно. Окей, я понял. Я утонуть могу тут. Прикольно. Проработано. Я думаю, мне в воду не даст зайти.
They saw me before I saw them.
Господи. Офигеть. А где они сидят-то? Охренеть не встать. Где они сидят, правда?
They saw me before I saw them.
Охренеть, они по горам теперь сидят, получается.
My mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
Хрена себе. Чего такие резкие-то? Меня так не пугает, тварь. Эта тварь, где ты? Давай еще раз.
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there. I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
Мать. Да как ты выжил-то, господи? Охренеть не встать. Как он выжил-то вообще там? Окей. Извините, меня шмаляют, конечно.
Did you find Grey Wolf? Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout.
Твою мать. Минус.
A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
Охренеть. Сюжет пошел. Спокойно. Ну где ты, тварь? Где ты сидишь?
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the walls.
Спокойно. Лучше их отстреливать просто издалека, мне кажется. Музыка прикольная. Подожди, куда идти должен? Управление, давай посмотрим. Интересно, куда я должен топать? Параметры, управления. Так. Цель на ща, да? А, окей. Офигеть. Кто там отстреливает, блядь? Поебал дам. А куда? Нам сюда. Я даже не вижу, кто нас отстреливает. А, вот вижу.
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars.
Охренеть. Ладно. Сучка. Наконец-то.
They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
Очень жестко дерут. В смысле не регаются попадания серьезно, ему в голову попало, они не регаются.
A few years back, I was married to two Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the cave of death.
Барбап любит рассказывать, походу.
I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul will have no rainbow if the eye had no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any
Охренеть.
other pale-faced warrior,
Подожди, а я могу,
or something like that.
я по-моему могу типа оружие поменять, нет? Да, могу, отлично.
As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul will have no rainbow if the eye had no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
Да,
I didn't
капец, вы
quite
сильно
get what he was
херачите,
saying,
конечно,
but there
ребят.
was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk. I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. but suddenly one just appeared, kind of like a miracle. I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo is right. Are you making this all
Mumbo
up as you
jumbo.
go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens.
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady.
Капец, вроде получается. Не знаю на самом деле насколько хорошо, но вроде как получается. Вроде стрелять я наконец научился. Благо опыт какой-никакой есть. Тихо, 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 спокойно, спокойно, спокойно. Так, раз.
I had a
okay.
steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounding me.
100?
God be my witness.
Блять.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time
Капец.
to count them exactly. But
Я
there were
вообще ни одного тупо не вижу. А, господи, серьезно? Дальше я тупо ни одного не вижу. Свидание. Свидание. Откуда, блядь? Откуда, блядь, я все еще не вижу. Откуда они стреляют? Сверху, что ли? Понятно.
And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before.
Уф.
I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air.
Я себе.
Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty.
Сейчас мы их херачили в этот раз, конечно. Так, навыки. У меня сколько уровней, получается, есть? Очков доступно одно, да? Погнали. Вроде пока все идет более-менее, в принципе, нормально.
Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand.
Братья Далтона.
Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of the right.
I did my best, sir. We all did.
Ёпересете. Меня зовут Охотник за головами. Лол. За секунду.
It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street.
Музыка прикольная, походу, будет.
Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always riding him about how he had no ambition. Well, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she'd say. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up. Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property.
You got us a hero. Put some holes in him.
О-о-о-о. Давай. Типа, когда он уже стал охотником за головами, так понимаю, в этот период.
The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity.
Вау.
But everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day. so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Бейте грабители банка.
The lawmen had been
А типа я не
tracking
один
Daltons for
стреляю.
months, and now they finally had him dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. This man had no intention of letting the Daltons slip away. They met an adversary that day who had no fear and offered them no quarter. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. You just gotta wait to suck the bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns.
Ты ж ёпрст. Так, окей. Ни хрена себе они бьют, конечно, пушки. Так,
He went
окей.
in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind.
Ой, сорян.
He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting.
Так, подожди, куда?
From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment
Блин,
later,
как же это прикольно
he was
выглядит,
climbing up
конечно.
a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
Куда идем-то? А, сюда? Окей.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Как же это прикольно выглядит, господи. Кинематографично, я бы сказал даже.
Is that Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch! Rule the day. That's right. Run! That asshole just killed Red?
Отлично.
Over there!
Да, блин. Как же я обожаю эти куты, когда я в него попадаю, и так, в принципе.
Over there! That's Silas Greaves. What the hell?
Blam! Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons. His name?
Вау.
Silas Greaves. And when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Блин, как же
Sorry, kid,
прикольно
but that just
получилось.
wasn't the way it happened.
И как все было-то?
It was early evening, not high noon.
3 версии разных были.
I was late to the party and Coffeeville was already up in arms. Daltons blew up a safe and were all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies. I'm ending you.
Гер-любовник плохо. Понятно. Боб, а это
I'd been
берет.
tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. And finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends in Coffeeville. Hey, you got us an ear with skulls in them. And those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. To top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons pull up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons, and they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons, which wasn't any surprise, because those 2 families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeeville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
Тут никого, да? Где еще? Почему игра не говорит, что я могу типа идти дальше? Я просто не понимаю.
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. The 3rd brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work.
В смысле? Подожди, а как я должен? Что должен делать? Или я должен просто стоять? Я должен, скорее всего, просто стоять был, ждать.
It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Reeves. This is where it is for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeeville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him? But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
Типа остальные, что с ними случилось? Сказки самооткрытия, пускай будет. Блин, офигенная игра. Короткая, наверное, но офигенная.
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this!
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
We'll track him to the ends of the earth.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
Да, я про это говорил, сейчас немного случится-то. Подвиг же он тех не
It
убил.
was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks.
Ориентиры это вот эти, что ли?
It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood. The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Типа только по ориентирам. Подожди. Ориентиры искать ты должен. Сорян.
Bury them in the swamp. Let them where they stand.
Except for some bitches ahead of me wanted to do me harm.
Так.
So I had to face them alone. I wondered why my
Гребаное горло.
compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
I'm in there.
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends. The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
Да черт! Тоже это сложно. Очень мало патронов на самом деле. Да господи! Спокойно. Окей. Вроде все, да? Где? Ага, хуй там.
Point being, I was under serious attack.
Да, в смысле, а куда я должен был вернуться-то? Окей. Пизда вам, ребятки. Да ёп. Спокойно. Блин. Хорошо.
The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
А, я понял. Еще бомбежка продолжается. А кто там еще-то, господи?
And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen. Point being, I was under serious attack.
Спокойно. Ага, я понял. Если вышибают силы, конечно. Все? Неужели все?
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view. But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running through the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was. Steve? So I just started walking, and pretty soon...
Oh.
Steve? Steve?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
There were Indians.
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention.
Oh.
Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other. Bounty hunters! Stop that, son
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet, but I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family? I'll bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Могилу, блин. Так, спокойно. Какого хера, блядь? Если не наглые, конечно. Сюда, что ли? Нет, не... Если запутался. Нормально, все окей. Ай-яй.
Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
Куда идти-то? Сюда вроде бы, да?
That's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Guess it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was in that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high. And those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting...
Ни хрена себе. Я понял, хорошо.
But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Отлично. Охереть. Охереть, там еще миниган, блин. Ты серьезно? Да, пипец. Это будет сложно. Именно на моей сложности. Охренеть. Тут не отсидишься, хорошо. Это будет нормально так по сложности. Да ёб твою ж мать. Окей, хорошо. Капец, это сложно, господи.
Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
Так, я вот это, пожалуй, вот так зару.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Блять, не туда. Я не туда пошел. Ах, господи. Ненадолго. Не тупи, пожалуйста. Спасибо, игра.
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit. It turned out that they had me.
Take him out! I'm sending you to hell!
The Daltons had played me like a fiddle. Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Oh, yeah, but I was in a fight.
Did you hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
You're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed to. I don't think it'll even float.
So anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
oh God,
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. I was coughing up smoke and pretty damn pissed. I was done playing games with those boys. It was time to settle this once and for all.
Ни хрена себе. Так, окей. Из него чертовски сложно попадать, если честно.
To come at me one at a time. They were in this together. Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Подожди. Ого. А типа... Подожди, я сразу двоих должен убить? Окей. Хорошо, еще раз. Увернуться я должен. Окей, хорошо. Замечательно. Только понять это еще. Да ёпарасоте. С кого мне начинать-то? С переднего или с заднего?
Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Да, в смысле? Ну, почти. Почти, давай еще раз. Да, как? Как это сделать? Да в смысле, я увернулся же от него. Ну ёпрст. Ну, давай еще раз. Чё. Да какого лешего? Почему мне даже кнопки тупо вернуться не было? В смысле?
Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Yeah, boy.
A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds.
Я смог
Paroled
его...
14 years later. He moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
Ну, по крайней мере, я, так сказать, не стал жульничать. Так, что у нас есть?
My own brothers died tragically as well,
Yes.
truth be told. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
Это жестоко, конечно. Туповый день без всех остался вообще. Первый раз, если что, эту игру прохожу.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking. Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right.
Я сам выстрелил, блин. Херачит.
They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above, so I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
А куда? Офигеть. А если бы я на секунду не успел? Или на заскриптованном, мне просто интересно. Не так повезло или на заскриптованном было?
From blowing up that bridge. What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them.
That son of a bitch.
From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
Подожди, надо посмотреть, как динамит кидать, я забыл уже. Дан-дан-дан-дан. Справка. Динамит выбрать на 4, а бросить как его? А, бросить просто так, да? Окей. Тихо, лошадка. Все хорошо. Ух, побежали.
I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Давайте сюда.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
This asshole don't know who he's up against.
Подожди, куда идти дальше-то? А, вот сюда.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death.
Охренеть.
Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Я не там высоко, конечно. ты выжил-то вообще? Музыка, конечно, отпад. Именно навевает настроение, скажем так, нужное. Почему именно там должны путешествовать, я не понимаю.
Times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Отлично. Подожди, а куда теперь? А, я понял, наверх.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a
You mean
hand.
like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Еще отряд против дикой банды. Офигеть. Блин, будет прикольно, эпично, на самом деле, думаю.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome. As usual.
Обломали. Обломали эпик. Чё мне эпик постоянно обламывает, а? Думаю, что эпик будет. Ага, сейчас. Размечтался.
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Well, only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
Бам.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nosed Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Ух ты, ёпарас, это нифига себе. Надо очень быстро, да, я так понимаю, делать. Да ёпарас это. Ого. То есть вернуться надо было, да? Ладно. Да в смысле? Я вчера же попал. Окей, хорошо. Пипец, я даже не успел вытащить, блин, пушку эту, блин. Серьезно? Блять. Не-не. Нафиг. Я сейчас специально это сделал. Каким образом? Что я должен сделать? Подожди.
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Да. Ты сфокусироваться не можешь, серьезно. Да какого лешего-то? Как я увернуться-то от нее должен был? Да. Какой же ты быстрый, тварь. Ладно. Рано выхватил эту пушку. Блять.
The very same
Ну только
day,
так.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Ладно, только в этот раз, окей.
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Единственное, кого я бесчестно убил.
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
То есть у нас стороны, конечно.
That kid Curry's kind of crazy, ain't he? Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado.
Who's shooting at me? We're under fire! Well, he's crazier than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Блять, это для этого явно не подходит.
Somebody really pissed this son of a bitch.
Да что со мной не так? Что со мной не так? Что с моей реакцией не так?
Who's shooting at me? We're under fire!
Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down.
Да господи. Наконец-то ты сдох, господи. Да какого лешего? Почему попадать ты перестал вдруг? Что за бред? Блять, я в тебя попаду сегодня, нет? Пиздец.
Who's shooting at us? We're under fire! Why did somebody shoot us? Show yourself!
Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Бум.
found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked.
Ось это
This
тупо.
time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific. The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports. Kid Curry was considered the wildest of the wild bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5.
85 ублюдков, нифига себе. Понятно. Плодовитый папаша.
Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was going to rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me. The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards.
Понял.
And I made it a point to remove any dynamite that I came across. A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Don't you blow us up now. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Лестницу, которую до этого не замечал, которая появилась только в чертогах разума его. Только сейчас.
But the wild bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
You can't hide forever.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Как у него все это образовывается, как ему удобно, то есть с его историей.
My damn eardrums.
Ты выжил вообще. Да, господи. Да, как ты это делаешь? Ладно. Да почему ты не регистрируешь ты выстрелы, господи? Игра. Ты нормальная, нет? Что еще? А как я могу ударять такие? Подожди. Блин, серьезно? Это нечестно как бы. Да, блять, я долго это место проходить буду, нет? Вы же бесит, господи. Блять, я же забыл, что здесь нельзя подрывать. Хотя подожди, почему нельзя подрывать? А, ну да. Точно.
So, what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn
Вот и
dynamite.
все.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
Окей, сделали то, что он сказал. И все, больше никого.
So that was all the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually there was a fourth charge impeding my progress.
Всякий случай.
Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Голова-то у него не бронированная, а? Он же, блядь, не железный человек. В конце концов. Как и я, к сожалению.
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Так, надо подорвать эту херню. А куда идти? Ты типа прикалываешься?
Of course, I had to tread carefully. Otherwise, I could, well, die.
Где самородок?
I hope you understand how
Да
badly my
капец.
adventure might have ended had I not been as careful as hell.
Куда я должен прийти-то? В смысле? Я чуть не пойму, что от меня хочет игра.
It's truly
Да в
amazing.
смысле, там же есть вроде, нет?
Considering how many times I've danced with death.
Серьезно? Вот так что ли просто? Капец, я думал, это сложнее будет. Ну ладно.
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it. The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost
Всё,
sight
я не
of
успел.
myself. My heart was pounding like a sledgehammer.
Каким образом? Ёпарс, эта игра просто подкидывает реально очень веселые перипетии. Я понял. Хорошо, не успел. Давай еще раз.
I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today.
Капец.
Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion. But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass as I was not a young man anymore.
Еще и дуэль, походу, будет.
Kill that SOB! Make him bleed! Send him to perdition!
Finally, I found those boys. Or more precisely, they found me.
Hell is that? Face tracer and keep coming! Me? None of your damn fruitcake!
Да. Ладно. Пиздец. Раз все сложнее и сложнее, блять. Блять. Окей.
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
Если вы прикалываетесь, да еще и Гатлинг. Дела-то хуже не могут быть, да? Дела так веселее некуда. Еще и Гатлинг у нас не будет. Хуй там голову. Я с такого далекого расстояния он не убедил. Надо сейчас... Да, чтоб тебе, серьезно, что ли? Прикалываешься, да? Ладно. Подожди, что у меня есть? Да, повышенный урок, концентрация, отлично. Спокойно.
Luckily, I had located some dynamite. I still, however, had my work cut out for me.
Сейчас минуту подойду. Я даже ничего не сношу. Так, ладно. План Б. Давай. Раз, два, три. Спокойно. Блин. Я понял. Значит, еще раз. Спокойно. Это было тупо. Почему он там-то стоял? Так, сейчас надо обратно свалить. Да серьезно, что ли? Вы чё, охренели, что ли? Ладно, хорошо. Надо было концентрацию использовать на самом деле. Ну ладно, я тупанул. Так, окей. Я сейчас конкретно топлю. Спокойно. Спокойно. Сейчас у нас, по-моему, еще один тип придет. Я понял. Так, на один надо запомнить. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять. Я иду тебя кидать. Так, отлично. Давай иди сюда. Тварь. Охренеть. Вот это было близко. Так. Собрали кучу. Волю в кулак. 4. Погнали. Ух ты ж, ёб твою мать. Спокойно. Уф, я успел. Слава тебе, Господи, слава яйцам. Я успел завалить его до того, как он меня завалит. 4. Бам.
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down.
Ау.
And that's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Ладно. Давай еще и тут потупим, чего бы нет там. Да, ты прикалываешься и сам пулю словил еще и... Я понял, хорошо. Бля, как же бесит, честно, пытаться выиграть, господи. Блять, ладно. Да ёб твою мать. Ты можешь вернуться? Нет. Это 4-й раз уже. Это на геймпаде, мне кажется, в разы приятнее выполнять, чем на клавомыши. Видишь, блядь, как эту пушку тупо запускаешь. Я не знаю, как ты еще, блядь, с чем сравнить. Блять. Как же это всрато. Какое же всрато управление дуэлей, господи. Такое чувство, будто это делали порт именно с консольной версии, вот реально. Да как ты, блядь, не можешь вернуться-то, господи? Почему? Я ебал просто, блядь. Настолько всрато сделано, что просто охреневаешь реально. Вот что хорошо сделано, так это обычная стрельба. Что сделано всрато через порт, я так понимаю, это было с консоли, скорее всего. Так это вот это дерьмо, блядь. Да почему она в тебя не попадает-то раньше? Хорошо, еще раз. Просто траешь, траешь, траешь и траешь. Просто один другого, блядь, убивает, и все нахуй. Что, блядь, это вообще? Я ебал. Почему так всрато сделано, господи, почему?
fast
Наконец-то,
as he was.
блядь.
I was just a bit faster.
С какого раза это
I
получилось?
demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him. Those were his last words.
Ну, по крайней мере, умер как мужик. Честно убил за того, блин. Было сложно, но я честно его прикончил. Я пытался это сделать нечестно, но не получилось.
So, Bob Bryant got away?
I knew I'd never find him in South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kind of glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang. Did I neglect to mention that?
Jesse James? The greatest outlaw who ever lived?
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
Nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40 grand for both of them, dead or alive. That's one hell of a payday. I confronted them as they were robbing a train. Bullets were flying at me from every which way. But I knew I'd have to fight my way forward if I was
Так,
going
ну,
to find this
думаю, на этом
Jim.
пока что закончим. Тогда всем спасибо, кто был. Всем удачки, всем пока-пока. На этом, думаю, пока что хватит. Нервы мои сегодня больше не выдержат, к сожалению. Все, всем спасибо, кто приходил.